is an interesting case because what China proves first and foremost is you don't need to have any democracy at all to have capitalism. It's fine. So this notion that capitalism and democracy are linked together like this, are inseparable, is nonsense. It always has been nonsense. This is an ideological construct which was used between 1917 and the late 1980s to hit the enemy in the entire West. The minute the enemy collapsed, this construct basically disappeared. And it doesn't function anymore because no one cares. The people who rule do not care about democracy. France had a referendum, a very, very closely fought referendum against the European Constitution, one of the most democratic instances in recent European politics. In every single small town, villages, people went and argued. And Jürgen Habermas, the great German philosopher, appealed to the people of France, please don't leave us, please don't vote against the European Constitution. They were not voting against Europe, they were voting against a constitution which made this form of capitalism sacred. What happened after that referendum? In France, in Holland, in Ireland. What happened? It was ignored. Completely and totally ignored. They pushed through a new constitution, which was virtually the same, with one or two cosmetic changes that were made. So how can young people not be cynical? And how can they say, if this is your democracy, that whenever we vote against what you want, you ignore us? It's not a democracy that we want. The whole point of democracy was, or used to be, of getting rid of governments and, if necessary, getting rid of what they represented and changing policies. That has not been happening now since the late 90s. It has not been happening in most of Europe, in virtually all of Europe. So that is what creates a huge problem. But, you know, in relation to Greece, to come back again, I mean, for me, we have to think of a different type of European structures. I'm not in favor of any retreats to nationalism. I don't believe in that. But we have to believe in regional and Europe-wide structures, but not on the current basis. That is unacceptable. So Greece can withdraw from the euro without leaving the European Union. This thing of conflating these two things, if we withdraw from the eurozone, then we will also lose, we will be expelled. Why? Britain is not part of the Eurozone. Ireland is not part. It is, but it's thinking again. Scotland, which might leave Britain, is saying we won't be part of the Eurozone, though we want to be part of Europe. So it's an interesting discussion that is taking place, because when you have small countries part of the Eurozone, they lose all the facility to control their own monetary policies, like devaluation. This is what Greece desperately needs. Can't do it. So this is the discussion which is taking place. So to put pressure on all the left and say, no, no, don't do it, when even American economists, not very radical economists like Krugman and Stiglitz, are saying devaluation is needed in Greece and Spain, but they can't do it, then we have to say, what is happening in Europe? Why are they trapped by this orthodoxy which is collapsing in front of their eyes?